How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? Yes, and how many seas must the wild dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? Well, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years can a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? Yes, and how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times must a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? Well, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can really see the sky? Yes, and how many ears must one man have before he can hear the people crying? How many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? Well, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Yeah, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us here in our very first live. We're Eli and Galita, and we're really happy to be here. This is our backyard, and I guess that's it. We're going to sing a bunch of great songs from the 60s and 70s, and a few stories, few old stories from that time, a few personal stories. And so the next song is a song by a songwriter from New York, and he was a young man in the early 60s. That wrote a really nice song and that he really believed in. So he recorded it with his best friend. And they got a record deal, recorded the album, and they didn't manage to sell any copies almost. So what happened is they got dropped and they went their separate ways. And then one day when he was traveling with his girlfriend in the early 60s in Europe, he picked up the Billboard magazine and found out that his song was #1 in America. So he called up his manager, he called up his producer, and found out that he had added some more musicians to the track, and then they created together what would be called folk rock. There was a lot of folk rock in that time. And the rest is musical history. He got back with his friend, and they became one of the hugest duos in history of rock music, popular music, Simon and Garfunkel. And so this is the song. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walk alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turn my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light, it split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, and people writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw silence like a cancer grows. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, but my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was for me. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls, in tenement halls, in a whisper, the sound of silence. So in 1966, there was a new band, also kind of like a folk rock band in California. They were made up of a bunch of great talent that would one day become huge stars. One of them was Stephen Stills. And one day when he was driving back home, he heard about the riots, so-called riots, that were on the Sunset Strip in California. It was a bunch of just young people, and the police came and treated them like they were rioters. So he was sitting around a fire one day, and he brought out his guitar and wrote this song in about 5 minutes. It was about those rioters, but it came to be an anthem for the Vietnam War later on. And they played this song at the first rock festival in Monterey Pop in 1967, Summer of Love. So this is a song by Buffalo Springfield. Something happening here, and what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, and telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn, and nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. I think it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street are singing songs and they're carrying signs. Mostly say hooray for our side. I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. A step out of line, the man come and take you away. You better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. You better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. You better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart, and then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better. And anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world upon your shoulder. For well you know that it's a fool who plays it cool by making his world a little colder. La la na 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 na, yeah. Hey Jude, don't let me down. You have found her, now go and get her. Remember to let her into your heart, and then you can start to make it better. So let it out and let it in. Hey Jude, begin. You're waiting for someone to perform with. And don't you know that it's just you? Hey Jude, you do. The movement you need is on your shoulder. Na 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 na, yeah. Hey Jude, don't make it bad, and take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better. Everybody sing right with us. Na 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 na. Hey Jude, got our neighbor over there. Na 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 na. Make it Jude. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey Jude, 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 yeah, yeah. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Okay, let's do it 50 more times. Let's go. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. So that was a song by the Beatles, obviously, and Paul McCartney was the main songwriter there. Anyway, we're kind of going chronologically, and the next song is from 1969. The funny thing about this song is that it was used by the BBC, if I'm not mistaken, BBC I think it was. And they decided to take this song to use as the backdrop of the moon landing that had just happened that year. But what they didn't notice was that the lyrics were talking about a man in space that got lost in space, and not about people that went to the moon and came back home safely. And this is also the very first hit by an artist that we lost not long ago by the name of David Bowie. Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. 10. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition, and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirt you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way, and the stars look very different today. For here am I floating in a tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. still. And I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much, she knows. Ground control to Major Tom, your circuit's dead. There's something wrong, can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear? Am I floating in a tin can, far above the moon? Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. So 1969 was a very interesting year for rock, for music in the world. There was a lot of music that was influenced by the Vietnam War and by the love movements, the hippie movement. And there was a festival, Woodstock, of course, a very well-known festival. And I had the opportunity to interview a friend of my mom's named Sarah Prague. I used to have a radio show, so I interviewed her, and she ended up getting a pass from somebody that was a reporter there, and she was under the stage. She was right under the stage when all the performances took place. One of the bands that played there was CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival, and I think it's only recently that they decided to let the audio and the video from their performance there see the light of day. It wasn't included in the movie. So this is one of their songs, Creedence Clearwater Revival, 1969. I left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day, but I never lost a minute of sleeping, worrying about the way things might have been. Big wheel keep on turning, Proud Mary keep on burning, and we're rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. I cleaned a lot of plates in Memphis, pumped a lot of paint down in New Orleans, but I never lost a minute of sleeping, worrying about the way things might have been. Big wheel keep on turning, Proud Mary keep on burning, and we're rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. That's right. Well, if you come down to the river, bet you're gonna find some people who live. You don't have to worry if you got no money. People on the river happy to live. Big wheel keep on turning, Proud Mary keep on burning, and we're rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Yeah, we're rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. We've been rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. So here's a song you can all join in on the chorus. Well, I am just a poor boy, though my story's seldom told. I have squandered my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles, such are promises. And all lies and jest till the man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. La 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 la. When I left my home and my family, I was no more than a boy in the company of strangers, in the quiet of the railway station, running scared, laying low, seeking out the poorer quarters where the ragged people go, looking for the places only they would know. Lie, 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 lie. La 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 la. And asking only workman's wages, I come looking for a job, but I get no offers. Just to come on from the whores on 7th Avenue. And I do declare there were times when I was so lonesome I took some comfort there. La 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 la. Lie, 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 lie. Then I'm laying out my winter clothes and wishing I was gone, going home, where the New York City winters are bleeding me, bleeding me. Going home. And in the clearing stands a boxer and a fighter by his trade, and he carries the reminders of every glove that laid him down or cut until he cried out in his anger and his shame, I am leaving, but the fighter still remains. La 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 la. Okay, this is the last one. Everybody sing along with us. You ready? Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, lie, lie. Thank you, everybody. So, the end of the 60s, from the mid-60s on, but the end of the 60s, really beginning of the 70s, that was a time when the main singer-songwriters started coming onto the scene, you know, like James Taylor and Carole King. And there was a British songwriter. It was actually a British singer who was half Greek and half Swedish. A very interesting combination. But he was British. He grew up in England. His name was Cat Stevens, and he wrote a song. And when my dad came over here in 1973 after the Yom Kippur War, we're here in Israel, performing in the Jordan Valley, about 5 minutes from the Sea of Galilee. And when my dad came over here in 1973, he was just a young boy from Montana, and his friend offered him a ticket to Israel after the Yom Kippur War. So he always told me that that when he left Montana, his dad talked with him and said to him, you know, why don't you just stay here, you know, in Montana? Why don't you find yourself a wife and raise a family on the farm? You know, why go abroad so far away? And he said this next song by Cat Stevens was always the song that reminded him of the relationship that he had with his father, and how his father couldn't understand how he would want to go across the world and build a different life in a completely different country. So this is a song called Father and Son. Well, it's not time to make a change. Just relax and take it slowly. You're still young, that's your fault. And there's so much you have to know. And find a girl, settle down. And if you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. And I was once like you are now. And I know that it's not easy to be calm when you found something going on. Now take your time and think a lot. Why think of everything you got? Well, you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. How can I try to explain? When I do, he turns away again. And it's always been the same old story. And from the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. It's not time to make a change. Just sit down and take it slowly. You're still young, that's your fault. And there's so much you have to go through. Find a girl and settle down. And if you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. And all the times that I cried, and keeping all the things I knew inside. Well, it's hard, but it's harder to ignore it. If they were right, I'd agree, but it's them, they know it's not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. So, continuing on with the story, when my dad came over here, Reuven Schmaltz, when he came over here in 1973, first thing he met was my mom, because his friend who had brought him over here knew knew my mom's family, and they met, and within I think like 3 weeks or something like that, my dad and mom were married in Jerusalem. And he always told me that this next song by James Taylor was the song they used to sing to her in the streets of Jerusalem when he was so-called courting her, which I don't know if that could be considered courting for 3 weeks, but it's a song by James Taylor. It's one of his breakout hits. Came out in 1970. It's called Fire and Rain. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out on the morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. You just got to see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand, and I won't make it any other way. And I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind to an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. But as I waste the time on the telephone line to talk about things to come, sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Whoa, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again. That I'd see you one more time again. And there's just a few things coming my way this time around now. And thought I'd see you, fire and rain now. La da da. So our parents had us pretty quickly, and part of my childhood when I grew up in the States was in the South, in Arkansas. And I have a lot of fond memories from Arkansas. We used to live in a cabin up in the woods all by ourselves with a bunch of chickens and goats. And my parents were actually really young. They were in their mid-20s at that time, but they didn't seem so young to me at the time. And I always like to do at least one country song, or at least a song that kind of reminds me of that time. This next song is by an artist by the name of John Denver. Sing along with us, of course. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, flowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, and all my memories gather round her. A modest lady, stranger to blue waters, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. A misty taste of moonshine, a teardrop in my eye. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, sweet mountain mama, Yesterday, country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, sweet mountain mama, take me home. Country road, one more time, sing along with us. Country road, please take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try, and no hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living a life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Thank you. That was a great song by John Lennon. So a few words about my wife and I. Galita and I have been performing together for the past 3 years, something like that. And Galita is actually a kindergarten teacher. She teaches kindergarten in Afikim here in the Jordan Valley. And she's also an educational entrepreneur. She has a program for teaching young children to learn how to read and write. And it's been taken off pretty seriously. It's called Zimizama. If you guys want to take a look at zimizama.com. And she's also a psychotherapist, and she's also a musician, and she's also pretty good looking, I think. And we are both, I don't know what you call it in English, we're both on our second marriage, which is great. Second marriages are the best. And we have a young son named Eitan. He's in second grade now, and four kids between us besides him. Anyway, so I think this next song pretty much sums it up how I feel when Galita's not around, and that's part of the reason why I convinced her to finally come and perform with me, because she said, you know, I'm just a kindergarten teacher. But I said, no, I know that you have a natural talent, you have a natural beat, and we worked on it, and Galita's great. We've been performing all over Israel, far and wide, and I think this next song really brings it home for me how I feel when Galita's not around. You ready? Well, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, I wonder this time where she's gone. I wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. And I know, 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 I know. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the young thing alone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. Keep me searching and I'm growing old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. So that was a song by Neil Young. This is the music that my dad brought into the house, and I still have these records. It's the music that I grew up on. Even though up to now every song we played has been released before I was even born. But these are classics. And another one of the classic singer-songwriters, one of the greatest singer-songwriters to come out of England was Elton John. And Elton John, it always seemed to me like his songs were too piano-oriented, until finally one day I figured we might as well do an Elton John song, one of the great classics that I always loved. So we'd like to do one for you. Well, she packed my bags last night pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I think it's me high, 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 high as a kite by then. I miss the earth so much, I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rocking man. A rockin' man burning out his fuse up here alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rockin' man. A rockin' man burning out his fuse up here alone. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell, and there's no one there to raise them if you did. And all the science I don't understand. It's just my job 5 days a week. A rockin' man, a rockin' man. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rockin' man. Rockin' man, burning out his fuse up here alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rockin' man. A rockin' man, burning out his fuse gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be a long, long time. So we're getting pretty close to the end of our live performance today, and I'd like to say thank you for joining us and taking part in our first live performance, Galita, Eli and Galita. Bravo. I'd also like to say thank you to Alon Tavoy for doing the sound and the recording. One of my good friends, a drummer from Red Meadow, my band, and also Yilon Tubi, right? And Pascal Azulay, who are two cameramen today, who are responsible for this live performance, for filming it. And I'd like to thank, who else can we thank? I think that's it, right? Thanks for being my wife. Anyway, so we'd like to play our last song. This is actually the last song, is the only song that was released after I was born. It's from 1977. And we're going to finish with this song, and we'd like to say thank you once again for being with us. Song by the Eagles. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of Galitas through the air. Up ahead in the distance, saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up the candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, hey, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place. Ready room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Her mind is stiff and it twisted, and she got the Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys that she calls friends, and had the dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain. I said, please bring me my wine. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night, and just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place. They're living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Mirrors on the ceiling, pink champagne on ice. And she said, we're all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chambers, they gathered for the feast. Stabbing with their stealing knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find a passage back to the place I was before. And relax, said the night man, we are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like. but you can never leave. Thank you very much, everybody. Our first live was really fun. We got some neighbors around here. Thanks, guys, for staying with us. And have a good one. We're Ellie and Galita signing off.